a lot of people always talk about networking but don't really know how. So imagine if you're just a regular Joe Schmo, you walk into a building, like let's say you go to Art Basel or something like that nature. You have influencers there, millionaires are there, athletes are there, entertainers are there, musicians are there, billionaires are there. And you're like, all right, well, I got to leave with somebody's contact or something. How do you go into that room, get somebody's contact in a way that they'll actually respond when you reach out?
It's hard, bro. I don't think there's a way to do it. So my first Art Basel, I didn't do it this year because I'm getting older, but like 3 years ago, before I even moved to Miami, I heard about this Art Basel thing. Everyone was talking about it. They're like, you have to go. I had just started making some money, some real money. And I was like, all right, let me go check this Art Basel thing out. I ended up going without realizing what it was. I didn't understand the economics of Art Basel yet. So I tried to go to a club where normally like you could go spend maybe $1,000, have a really good time. Everything there was like fucking $5,000 minimums, $10,000 minimums. I'm like, what has driven the price up at these clubs? And like me, I wasn't gonna I came and I was acting like the shit. So I was like, fuck it, I guess I have to pay for this. So I ended up doing it. It was still a good time and I met a lot of people there. But it was crazy because there's not really a way to network with these people. Because like, what is it gonna do? Like like whatever you do, you're not gonna impress anyone. Let's say I meet Elon Musk. There is absolutely zero reason for Elon Musk to look at me and be like, you know what? You're gonna be worth some value to me. Like the only people you can meet, I met a lot of like influencer people at Art Basel, I guess, which was cool. But as far as a business connection, you can make friendships. Like in cases like this, if you're trying to network up and network with billionaires, good luck. There's nothing you can do to provide value for a billionaire. That question, when people ask me that, I'm like, what value are you going to provide for a billionaire? There's not much. I guess the one thing that I see, like this is the one thing, the only people I see that network with billionaires are the guys that like bring a bunch of girls places. Billionaires love that shit. If you're a billionaire and there's a guy that always moves around with like 20 women, that guy's getting invited everywhere. Right.
And it's the one thing that, although it's trendy now on social media over the course of maybe like the last 2 years, if you can provide a vibe, I think you can network with anybody. Because ultimately, they always say lean with value, but there's moments in which you can't necessarily provide that value to somebody outside of, you know, the old school. This guy's just great to be around. This girl's a pleasure to be around. If you go into those rooms and you think, well, you know, you have an email marketer. Well, you need help on your social media. These people are going to look at you like, we don't want to talk business here or anything. But if you walk into the room, you're funny, you're inviting, you're just very fun to be around, you can network with anybody. And as long as you don't come off as needy. Like if I can walk next to like a Grant Cardone, or I pass near like a Magic Johnson, or you walk next to like a Jay-Z, you make them laugh and you leave. You come back, you make them laugh again, you leave. You go elsewhere and everybody else like, yo, that guy was hilarious. And then it gets to a point where they're like, yo, who the hell is this person? Because they want you to be around. And the reason why I say that is I could transition that right into the age-old question. I think we talked about it a while ago, but now I think I might have a different perspective about taking $500,000 or taking the dinner with Jay-Z. And I've seen a lot of different clips go viral on socials the last 3 weeks. And it had me really thinking, where anybody with a brain, take the money. Because what the hell is Jay-Z going to tell you in the dinner? Nothing. Just go, yeah, man, keep grinding. You got to keep working, man. It's going to be a bad idea, right? But if you go in there expecting to be like, man, we're going to become friends, it won't work. But if you go in there to where you now know what it is that you want to say, you have a goal behind it, and you can actually leverage just the fact that you had the dinner, the photo that perhaps you may have taken, then it works. But any other scenario, you take the money and you get the hell up out of there.
Yeah, I think if you're completely broke, you take the money. You get out.
100%.
But let's say you're a billionaire already. Take the dinner with Jay-Z.
Absolutely.
So I think it really just depends on where you're at, because if you can go into that dinner where Jay-Z will look at you like as an equal, we're like, cool, as a connection, like, oh, Jay-Z now knows you as a connection, that's money. But in most of those cases, you could get those meetings for free anyway.
Exactly. Because people go in and they think, all right, well, once I have this dinner, will have a further relationship at the conclusion of the dinner. There's no guarantee with that, unless you go in there prepared. Like I saw a clip where a guy was talking about he would take the dinner with Jay-Z because a photo is, worth 1,000 words or whatever the case may be. People will see the photo and they'll just associate, oh wait, this guy must be somebody. He took a photo with Jay-Z. But who's to say you couldn't have just been a fan who ran into him at a restaurant, you took a pic. Pictures aren't working the way they did, 10 years ago, where they just associate you with this person because you guys took a photo. In the midst of the dinner, you've got to know, or the sit down, whatever it may be, coffee, whatever it is, you got to know what it is that you're asking, the purpose as to why you're asking, and you have to be so interesting to where he would want to further conversations with you outside of that setting.